sir?
Father Stu.
You and everybody else.
When a man comes around. We shouldn't pray for an easy life, but the strength to endure a difficult one.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 drama film Father Stu. A film that is written and directed by Rosalind Ross, and it stars Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson, Malcolm McDowell, Teresa Ruiz and Jackie Weaver. Now, the film is based on a real life story of a guy called Stuart Long, who himself is a bit of a rogue, bit of a lovable rogue. He's been a boxer, he's been all sorts of things in his life, been at the wrong side of the law, never really done anything with his life, always thinks he's got delusions of grandeur, wants to be an actor, all these sort of things. He moves to LA, and none of it works out the way he wants. He has a near-death experience while at the same time trying to romance the Teresa Ruiz's character, Carmen, who's very religious, which brings him closer to God. He then has a revelation and he decides to become a priest, but meets an awful lot of resistance from those around him and the priesthood itself. Right, what are my thoughts on Father Stu? Well, this is a film that I knew existed. I saw the trailer a couple of months ago, I think it was, and I thought it looked pretty interesting. It looked like, just the kind of drama that I like to watch, really. Something that's kind of based on a bit of reality, but also it can be quite uplifting and a little bit meaningful, but quite easy to watch at the same time. And this film kind of falls into all those categories. I've never heard this story before, but apparently Mark Wahlberg was really inspired to bring this story to the big screen. And I think, from what I've been researching, he had to fund an awful lot of the film himself because a lot of studios turned it down, which doesn't really surprise me because my understanding is this isn't really doing anything at the box office, but it's the sort of film that I hope eventually does find an audience because it deserves to. This is a very, very watchable film that will fill you with smiles and emotion, and choke you up at certain points in the film as well. I thought it was pitched absolutely perfectly. There are chunks of this film where it feels like it's almost a light comedy. I think Mark Wahlberg is an odd actor in many ways because he can do a lot of stuff. He's done action, he's done comedy, and for every happening or every infinite, the other side of the coin is you get Boogie Nights, or you get a film like this. Father Stu is clearly talented, he's clearly gifted as an actor, but there are some performances that you see of his that just are really dull and uninteresting. This isn't one of them. This is actually right up there, I think, with some of the best Mark Wahlberg performances, and take that as you will. If you're not a Mark Wahlberg fan, this probably won't win you over, but I think the story possibly will, of this guy that just keeps getting curveballs thrown at him and just keeps going forward. Very, very determined guy, and it's hard to not feel uplifted by that when you watch this film. And this film will make you smile. It will make you emotional. It will, like I say, it will definitely probably put if you're not, hard as nails, you know what I mean, this will probably put a lump in your throat. It really did me by the end, because I was invested in these characters, which is, might seem like a silly thing these days, but this is what you do if you write these characters well for the screen. And I know it's based on a real life person, but you will engage your audience. And I was really invested in not only Mark Wahlberg's character, but there are a number of characters in this film that you're invested in, including the Mel Gibson character who plays his father, Bill. I'm sorry, Mel Gibson was a real highlight for me in this film, playing this really narky dad, full of one-liners, who's been a bit of a downbeat dad to Mark Wahlberg all his life. Obviously living with those regrets, and you can see him wanting some kind of redemption for himself. And to see their relationship, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed their interactions. I enjoyed it every time Mel Gibson was on the screen, and it was a joy to watch Mel Gibson being given something significant to work with, because these last couple of years we've only really got like the straight to DVD type movies that he's been doing, which is a real shame. This will be a reminder to Mel Gibson fans what Mel Gibson is all about. And Jackie Weaver as well, who plays Stuart Long, Mark Wahlberg's mum in the film. Again, excellent. Really a high point of the film. And it was nice as well to see Malcolm McDowell in the film. You know, he plays like the head of the priesthood sort of thing, who is like an antagonist, who kind of gets won over, all this kind of stuff. And Teresa Ruiz, who plays like the love interest to Mark Wahlberg. I thought they had great chemistry, quite a nice special relationship that they had on screen together. So the chemistry worked, the dynamics of the film worked, but ultimately it's a film that you'll watch. It's not challenging to watch. It'll stir the right emotions in you. It'll definitely put a smile on your face. And it's a film you can sit back, kick your feet up and just enjoy. And I keep saying this a lot this year. You know what I mean? It seems to be... Hollywood is taking risks again on films and just kind of putting out feel-good films that you can just sit and watch and enjoy. This happens to be based on somebody's real life, which I just think is really nice. But at the same time, it's ultimately very entertaining, very watchable. So I really quite have a soft spot for this film. I quite enjoyed it. If you're not into dramas, if you're not into films like this, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not religious in any way, shape or form. Quite the opposite. But this film, while it's heavily based around religion, isn't really a religious film. It's the message, it's the story that it's all about. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I was quite impressed with this one. So let me know if you've seen this one, guys, in the comments, what you thought of it. And of course, I'll be back with loads more reviews on the channel very soon.